If you think leadership is about logic, targets, and execution, you're only half right. The other half, it's about how deeply people feel inspired by you. And without compassion, you'll never be able to touch that. Yet what many great technical leaders lack is the ability to operate on the vertical axis of feeling, energy, as well as the horizontal axis of thinking about matter. This is no surprise because your education trained you to live from the neck up, but to inspire discretionary effort, to make it safe for people to take initiative and innovate, and to unleash potential and create the conditions where people flourish. You must learn to stop treating people transactionally and develop authentic connection, which only ever comes from the feeling heart. Because people feel seen and heard, they don't think it. So how do you do that? Well, here's how to instantly undergo a paradigm shift in compassion, that rarest of virtues, using perhaps the most difficult relationship you have. Quite often in my coaching practice, this is with a parent, and it's important to develop forgiveness, compassion, and love for your parents, because the extent to which you've forgiven each parent directly limits how free you are to live your own life. So think of a parent you don't have a heart overflowing with love for, and do this. Imagine their grandparents. It was highly likely they lived through the poverty of the Great Depression, the horror of the Great War, and the existential terror of the Second World War. Then, amongst all that unimaginable trauma, they had your parents. Your parents then had no choice but to inherit all of that, and the only coping mechanism available to them was to obliterate the pain through alcohol or some other compulsive neurosis. And then you arrive into this moment of history where the internet means you can instantly gain access to all the wisdom ever spoken, and none of that was available to your parents. They didn't even have the option of therapy, coaching, and perhaps they never got the chance to break their unhealthy perspectives and coping mechanisms that made their inner lives so challenging and confusing. And so now, armed with this perspective, you look at this person with all their neuroses and you see that, one, if you were in the same space and time, it would have ended exactly the same way for you. Two, they simply never had the tools to unwind the intergenerational heaviness that was transmitted to them from their ancestors. And three, only your forgiveness and compassion can set you free from the resentment and disappointment you feel for the choices they made, mostly unconsciously, and the mindset they inherited from a time in history filled with unimaginable fear. So now what I invite you to do is this. Treat these relationships as the deepest kind of spiritual practice available to you. Your work is to transcend the triggers these relationships offer by working on remaining open, present, and centered. As you do this, you'll experience compassion as an inevitable consequence. Perhaps you're even feeling it now after that brief exercise. And with the people at work and in life you find most difficult to be around, I invite you to do this too. Witness your triggers arise, accept them, forgive them, and learn to transcend them. This won't just set you free, it'll also make you a person overflowing with compassion, which serves everyone, instead of someone constantly judging, tensed, and closed, which serves no one. What do you think? How do you connect to the relationships you find most difficult in life? I'd love to hear in the comments. And if this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe, and send this video to someone you know who needs to hear it. As always, thank you.